Good afternoon, all. This is the special meeting of the Blight Review Board on Friday, January 17, 2025. And we are on Zoom for this particular event, Zoom only today. We are all present and accounted for, including our new member, Mr. Cameron, and we are happy to have our first selectman and ex officio member, Mr. Zagrodzky, join us. So we are here for limited purposes, as indicated by our agenda. We want to review two recommendations previously made to the Board of Selectmen. Now that we have a larger complement, at least 4 out of 5 members. And I'm sorry, Mike Burke, I had forgotten, but he's just on the phone now, right? Mike, you're president accounted for?
I am president accounted for.
Excellent. Okay. So there were those two separate properties we wanted to review now that we have a full complement of members. And we are happy to do that in the presence of Mr. Zagrodzky, in that our recommendation goes to the Board of Selectmen for its determination as to whether, in fact, to proceed to foreclosure. So the first one is file number 17001.
16001.
I'm sorry, 16. I'll never get them right, and I should have the agenda in front of me, but I don't. So anyway, good. Glad everybody else knows what we're doing here. Mr. Ference, if you would be so kind as to lead us in a recitation of how we got where we are now in that particular file, that would be very helpful.
I will do that. Mr. Cameron, how do I share these photos now?
Mr. Zagrodzky has to give you permission to push the magic share button.
Right.
Just click share, and then I think it's allow anyone.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Yeah.
Try that, Hank. You should have a green share button at the bottom.
Hang on. Yes, I do.
There you go.
Okay, so hopefully.
There you go. Coming up.
So you're seeing, are you got a split screen, or you're just seeing 16001?
Seeing a split screen with you in the corner and the screen.
I don't know
there.
how I get rid of that.
That's okay. It stays usually.
Okay. All right. So 16001. Let's take a look at it first. We first got the first complaint about this property came in on March 1st, 2018. They were sent a notice of hearing on August 24th, 2020, and they had their first hearing on September 9th, 2020, with a notice of determination of blight on January 27th, 2021, and fines started on February 26th, 2021. Now, my understanding, because I wasn't here at the time, was that the property owner made some or began to make some cosmetic upgrades to the property. So the board voted on October 20th of 2021 to suspend the fines. So then moving forward, on March 24th, 2022, there was a lien placed on the property in the amount of those fines for $23,600. And that is the total of the liens and fines, because fines were never restarted. However, the reason that we are concerned with this property is that the homeowners have done, as far as I can tell, nothing in the last 2 years that I've been here, and the property continues to deteriorate. The property owner behind this house had in the spring had cleared away a great deal of small scrub trees and brush and vines. So now from the road through his property, you get a good view of the rear of the subject property, which, as you can see, the windows are almost at the point of falling out of this building.
Is the building unoccupied?
The building is completely unoccupied. It hasn't been occupied, as far as I know, because I've only been here 2 years in that entire period of time. Now, there may be some, if you will, critters living in this property because it's open to them anyway. I took these pictures last Monday and it happened to be snowing. But as you can see, the property is in bad shape.
Mr. Chairman, would you like a motion to move forward with foreclosure on 16001?
Yes, please.
So moved.
I will
Thank
second.
you. Is there
You wish
a
to
second? Thank you.
revise the wording. I'm not very accurate about such things, but
Yeah, the motion would appropriately be to recommend to the Board of Selectmen that they move forward with foreclosing on the liens which have been recorded in the land records as they pertain to this property, as we refer to it, file 16-001. So I'd say,
I would
Go
just
ahead.
like to confirm that at the last meeting that the homeowner's daughter came to see us, she said that they had found a buyer and were hoping to have a contract signed. I just wanted to confirm that no one's has heard from her again, that or have we tried to get back in touch with her again?
Well, just to correct what you said, it was 2 meetings ago that she appeared before the board, and it was my understanding from that discussion that she did have a buyer, which she had just gotten that day, and Mr. Reilly said to her that he would like to see some positive proof that there was a contract or a sale or something at the next meeting, which was last week, and I haven't heard from anyone, and she did not come to the meeting.
I just wanted to confirm that that was the case. Yeah.
Yes.
And just also, in case it's, helpful to our members, the idea that we recommend a foreclosure action be initiated, then that is something that will take a little bit of time, not much, but to actually be filed. And once a foreclosure action is filed, there's nothing to stop it from being resolved early if there actually is a sale or closing and the parties agree to some terms. So I think I understand the idea of not wanting to penalize someone if they're about to be able to resolve the blight or sell a property, and this doesn't stop that from happening. I think what it recognizes, if we act in this way or if we vote for this proposal, it's really saying to the Board of Selectmen, this is a matter that we've been working on since 2016. It hasn't been resolved yet, and it's time to go to the next step, which isn't to say it won't ultimately be resolved on terms that would be favorable to the town and the homeowner.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Okie. That point needed to be on the record, and I'm glad it is. I would further embellish that the daughter of the property owner has explained to us that the property owner himself has been in ill health and had a great deal of difficulty coming to grips with the notion that he couldn't return to his home. But she represented to us that he had been convinced of that, and that is why he was moving forward with a sale. And we did make clear to her when she was with us that we would continue with our recommendation, understanding that it would take the time that Mr. Burke was referring to, and that there would be plenty of time for her to show us a contract or otherwise give us evidence that we should stop proceeding, but that has not yet happened. So that is why I think we'd like to proceed. So any further discussion on the pending motion?
One quick question, Mr. Chairman, being the new guy and not a lawyer and not involved in real estate, what does, assuming the Board of Selectmen endorses this foreclosure, what does that mean? What is a foreclosure?
So that means that we go to court and ask the court to employing one of two methods, either by strict foreclosure or foreclosure by sale. Strict foreclosure would mean hand over the deed to the property to us in lieu of or in to compensate us for our liens. Or more likely, because there will be a lot of equity in this property, the court would order a foreclosure by sale. And the mission would be for us to receive the funds that we have liened, and the balance of funds would be paid either to property taxes if they are outstanding, and ultimately to the property owner. So
Does that mean that we're responsible for selling the property?
There would be a committee appointed by the court to arrange for the foreclosure by auction, in essence, for foreclosure by sale. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I should indicate as well, it is provided in our ordinance that all the expenses of that process would be covered by the proceeds that we receive. All right, anything else? All right, given the pending motion as to file 16-001, do we recommend to the Board of Selectmen they proceed with foreclosure? All in favor, you should, I guess, raise your hand. Yeah, there we
Aye.
go.
Aye.
That is unanimous and verbally so. Good. Okay, so that is file number 1.
16001,
Yep.
and we're
Good.
moving to 21001.
Thank you, sir. Good. Would you give us the same recitation, please?
Sure. So
Same sort of recitation, I should say.
this property, we received the first complaint on May 31st of 2021. There was a first notice of a hearing sent to the property owner on September 15th, 2021. The first hearing was on October 20th, 2021. The board determined that it is a blighted property on November 10th of 2021, and fines started on February 14th of that should be 2022. I wrote down 21. Yeah, that should be 22. The first lien was filed on June 14th of 2022 for $18,100. There was a first continuing lien filed on April 24th of 2023 for $31,400. On January 9th of 2024, there was a second continuing lien filed for $25,900. And then a third continuing lien filed on March 18th, 2024 for $21,600. Total liens filed to date are $97,000.
That last one, Mr. Ference, I'm reading our old notes, and that was filed on August 13, 2024, from
That's
what
correct.
I see.
Maybe
Yeah, you said March. I think it was just misreading the number.
Yeah,
Let me
Third
look at
continuing
the
lien.
let me look at the master list here.
yeah,
I copied it so I would be quicker. And
understand.
you are right. It was August 13th of 2024 for $21,600.
Good.
And this property is also unoccupied, Mr. Ference?
This has been unoccupied, according to the neighbors, since the complaints, actually before the complaints started. The property owner passed away. And as far as I can find out, there was never a probate filing. And I checked with the town attorney. He's tried to determine if anybody filed a probate case, and he says that he can't find one either. the one relative that we're aware of claims she's not the executrix. She is a niece, and she has spoken with the town attorney. But anyway, nothing has been done on this property other than a month ago when they cleaned up the front yard for some reason. But the backyard is still completely overgrown. Well, let's take a look at the rest of the pictures. And they've got moss growing on the roof. You know, this is the backyard. This is a garage door, which is open to animals. Those two panels are missing. And this is the other side of the house, looking into the backyard. And that's
Okay.
now, the other thing I will tell you is, and this is according to the assessor, they are 4 years behind in property taxes as of last week, and 6 years behind in sewer taxes. So really, nobody is, no one is dealing with this property.
Right. All right, so there are a couple of challenges for council when they get into this, and figuring out, and talking with the tax collector and the Board of Selectmen as to how they want to handle any foreclosure of any liens that there may be as to the unpaid taxes. And also notice to the appropriate person or entity, whether it's the niece or anybody else who will have to be served with the appropriate papers to commence the matter. But that is something that council will get into, and again, we will be paid for out of the proceeds of any sale or other kind of settlement in this matter. And I also wanted to highlight, as it was true in the earlier file, we have learned the hard way, shall we say, that a service by a marshal is the best way to handle our notices of dates for consideration of blight issues. And we did serve by a marshal in file 16001 on a particular occasion back in 2021. And we've done the same going back to at least 2021, having a marshal serve the notice of our intention to consider the blight issues. The marshals serve the property itself. That is what we refer to as abode service, the usual place of abode to the best of our knowledge. We have no other knowledge, so that is what we use. And of course, it is our concern to be sure we make our best efforts to give notice to the property owner that we are moving forward. And that is what we have done. And I think we are in good standing with that. Who knows whether that'll become a legal issue or not, but that's where we stand. So could I have a motion before we continue any further discussion to proceed with a foreclosure of the liens pertaining to what we refer to as file 21-001 and a recommendation. Thank you, Mr. Burke. And a second?
Mr. Cameron.
Mr. Cameron, okay. This being another recommendation to the Board of Selectmen in that regard. Any further discussion?
Let me just ask a question. Since the last lien was filed, the fines are still accruing. So the total on the fines as of 1/8, which was last week, is $112,100. So I don't know how you want to address that. If you do, should we file another lien?
That seems timely. I guess we ought to wait and see if the Board of Selectmen decides to proceed. And if they do, then I think we should get another lien filed fairly promptly. If not, we can, use in the ordinary course, we would probably do so again in the spring, April, something like that.
Yes, March or April.
there wouldn't be any particular need to hurry that along. That would be my suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no dissent on that. All righty. So the other item I would add for the record, and for Mr. Zagrodzky's benefit, we have heard from a number of the neighbors of this particular property by email and in person. One neighbor attended at one of our hearings. So they have been concerned, and I might go so far as to say upset about the condition of this property. And they are looking forward to our moving forward with some action in this regard.
I appreciate it.
Any other commentary? Okay, then. So all those in favor of proceeding with recommendation to the Board of Selectmen for foreclosing on file 21-001?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. Mr. Burke is, I don't see him at the moment,
Oh,
but did I hear you?
aye, sorry.
There you are. Okay, good. Okay. That handles the two matters that were on the agenda for the special meeting, and we cannot add anything to the agenda. So unless there's any additional comment, I would move for an adjournment.
I would just say to thank you to everyone for your work today. I appreciate it. These are not easy decisions, and I know none of you, and certainly none of us, take any decision to foreclose lightly. At the same time, those are the rules, and I understand why we need to proceed with this. It's for the benefit of the town and for people who live here. So we will handle this in the most fair manner possible in accordance with laws and regulations pertaining to these foreclosures. But again, I appreciate the board's action on this. For the record, the Board of Selectmen has a vote for these foreclosures scheduled for its meeting next Tuesday.
Terrific. Glad to see some action, whatever it may be, but we'd like to see it attended to. So good. All right, then, in favor of, do I need a motion to adjourn? Thank you,
I'll move.
Mr. Burke, and seconded by Mr. Cameron, and all in favor, and good.
Aye.
Thank you all. Appreciate your time this Friday afternoon.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
weekend, everybody.
Yep, take care.
Thanks, Mr.
Have a
Chairman.
good weekend.